Hey, this is Ben Mankiewicz along with my pal Rookie Mankiewicz, and Rookie has an important message for you. Lick your balls and subscribe to TYT Sports. Falcons Saints 26-23 in overtime. The Saints win it. Pretty good game. Comebacks by both teams at various points. Falcons with a nice rally late. So Mike Smith, the coach of the Falcons, had a really interesting situation. He ended up with 4th and, I don't know, 4 inches, 6 inches?
Less than a yard, but less than a foot.
Less than a foot, no question. I mean, if you told me it was 3 inches, I would believe it.
Yeah.
It was really almost nothing. In overtime, at his own 29, the ball had started at the 20. The kick had been through the end zone. So his first 10 at 20 to get to the 30. Initially, a great play by the fullback to strain for the extra yard had been called a first down. They reviewed it, moved it barely back behind the line. And Mike Smith gets Turk of the Week because he went for it, recognizing we should be able to get this 4 inches. And in overtime, when we have the ball, I'm not going to give the ball to Drew Brees. I'm not going to give it to him at my own. I don't want to give it to him at my 30. I don't want to give it to him at his 30, at his 20, because it's Drew Brees, and they'll need 45 yards, and they'll kick a field goal and win the game.
But here's, okay, I'll take the counter to that. I feel, yes, you don't want to do that. But you are, if you don't get those inches, and it happens, not giving it to Drew Brees. You're giving it to John Casey, who could just kick a field goal right away.
Totally, no question.
So I think that's why I disagree with it. I would rather punt it to Drew Brees than give it to John Casey to kick a field goal right away.
You'd spend 3 years as an NFL coach, and you'd be talking about that great year where you went 7-9. That would be your history in the NFL.
I'd be ecstatic.
3 and 3. You'd be like, I was in the NFL coach.
1 year
I was 7 games. It's incredible.
I would be so happy.
Why did they hire me?
Thank you for saying that.
Punting has long been an obsession of mine because it's just what teams do. And obviously you should have a punter on your roster. But giving up the ball, we recognize in the NFL how horrible turnovers are. They dictate games. You lose the turnover differential. You're a great bet to lose the game. Punting is a turnover. You are literally turning the ball over to the other team. You were controlling field position at the same time. You're hoping to net.
Field position. However, as important as turnovers is field position. And if you have a good punter, you can dictate field position very often.
Sure, I mean, but we're doing here, we're punting from the 30-yard line. The Saints, you're hoping to get 40, 42 yards, whatever the net is on a punt.
Yeah.
You'd move them back that 21 yards, another 21. They'd have the ball around their 25-yard line. If you get a great punt, 15, 20-yard line. All they need to do get to the 33-yard line for John Casey to kick a 50-yard field goal, which
you've already got them at if you miss this run.
Right. So, but anyway, if it was 4th and a yard, I probably would have punted. And I hate punting. But it was 4th and that. It was a tiny distance. And once you make that very ballsy decision in the NFL, my best chance to win is to keep the ball. Keep the ball. I always think you should keep the ball. So he goes for it. But then the quarterback sneak is invented for this. I don't know that I've ever seen it fail at 3 inches. I've seen it fail. Quarterback sneak totally, this is different than this for a quarterback sneak.
Right.
Because your lean forward is almost automatically forward before there's a push back.
And push you back, yeah.
And you couldn't have leaned forward any measurable distance that wouldn't have gotten this first down. It was so clear they were going to, I thought, ballsy, do the quarterback sneak. You got Matt Ryan, you got a quarterback, 6'3",
6'4", 217.
6'4", 217. You don't have Doug Flutie. You got a big quarterback with some push, lean, snap, do this.
Yeah.
First down, pull the ball back. But they handed it to Michael Turner in a slow developing play. Turner gets it 4 yards behind the line of scrimmage. He doesn't get back to the line of scrimmage. He lost a yard easily. It wasn't even close. And then, as we knew would happen once you don't get it, the Saints run 3 plays. They get a first down, they kick an easy field goal, and they win 26-23. I think a great decision to go for it, the right decision, wise, when it's this close. I'm not saying go for it when you need a yard.
Listen, it depends on the time of the game. I don't think in overtime you go for it even when it's this way. I mean, I just don't.
What if you were told that quarterback sneaks...
On your own 29.
What if you're told on quarterback sneaks, right? Because here's what I bet the statistics will show. That on quarterback sneaks, where you need less than 6 inches, right? That the percentage of success is over 95%.
Well, then I'd go for it.
Right. I'm just saying.
But I don't know that that's the case. I don't know that Mike Smith knew that that was the case.
They ought to know.
And listen, if it had worked, and they'd marched down the field, Mike Smith would have been, a god for having gone for it. And so, here I am saying he shouldn't have gone for it because it didn't work.
But I would have come out with this segment if he'd given it to Michael Turner and he'd gotten it. I don't think I'd have given him Jerk of the Week, but I'd have mentioned it.
would have said,
wow, that was
risky,
puzzling
yeah.
not to do.
Yeah.
Because then all of a sudden you're making the same risk that you make when it's 4th and a yard, which
Yeah.
is you lose yards. And that's the only way he could get this, was losing yards. Quarterback sneak, you don't lose yards. You don't lose yards. It's almost physically impossible with a big quarterback to lose a yard.
Well, I mean, it didn't work.
It didn't work, and it earns him both the rare Turk and Jerk of the Week for the exact same decision.
How many people have had the Turk and Jerk combine?
For the same decision?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Or for like one same week.
Well, you got to go back to Napoleon McCallum was the first when I started giving
that
this
was
award
early
out.
on when you gave the Turk and Jerk.
Hi, I'm Ben Mankiewicz along with Rookie Mankiewicz, and Rookie has an important message for you. I have to pee.